Right, when you looks in, you looks in. Of all the fish to catch, been here about 3 hours. I said I'd seen a couple, and as it happened, they moved to my left. So that one's liner in. I moved to my left and just followed them down, popped a bag on them. And I've had what we think is the biggest fish in the lake at a record weight of 35 pounds. So, well, like I said before, when you looks in, you looks in. I've put no effort into this fish whatsoever. I've just seen a handful of fish and put bags on them. Unbelievable. What a stunning fish. Well, it goes without saying, this is the best May I have ever had since I started carp fishing. Like I said before, when you looks in, you looks in. What a fish. Probably about 3 times this thing's been caught. This is a very wild lake, doesn't get a lot of pressure. It's a known fish, but certainly not one that's been caught very often. Its mouth is perfect, well, the whole fish is perfect. We'll put it back for somebody else to enjoy. I think that fish will do 40, you know. Yeah. Looking at its tail.
Well, you just said, not that Vinny again.
Well, it's definitely my lucky period, because not long after I put that 35 back, I've had one of the commons and one of the nice ones as well. This is ounces short of £29. Look at that. Proper original, probably coming from the Trent, this fish. Not sure if this has ever been hooked before in its life. What a fish. And I've only come down for the day. Unbelievable stuff. Again, on the milky malts. They're not letting me down this season, I must admit. You can tell this is a river fish because it's quite a long one and a lean one. And it went like an absolute torpedo. Its first run was 40 yards. I knew instantly it was one of the better ones. So clearly there's some of the bigger fish where I'm fishing. What an absolute stunning carp. Yeah, definitely, what did you say, trod in something? Is that what they say? Whatever it is, I hope it continues. Right, you can go back, matey. It's just about 7 o'clock now, something like that, and I've just had this chunky one. This is on the left hand rod. This is not off the bar. Those rods haven't done anything yet. And to be fair, I haven't had them out long, to be fair. So I just waited till the wind dropped a little bit just to make sure I hit the spot. So yeah, this one went over. There's about 15 to 20 spoms I put out. Probably done myself no favours here. So I reckon these stockies are going to mull their way through that. But you know, over the last few sessions I've done down here, just keep putting the bait in, and eventually one of the bigger fish come along. You know, I've had a lot of the 20s doing this. Just keep feeding them, you know, don't worry about the stockies. A lot of people are, I had a stocky so I stopped. Yeah, just keep doing it. Go on mate, you'll go back. Yeah, just keep doing it, and eventually, it's hard work, it's not fun, I must admit, but eventually it's well worth it where one of them 20-pounders picks you up. So that's the plan for tonight. Okay guys, so it's first light, it's about 20 past 4. Yeah, finally I've got through the stockies. It's not a massive fish. It's an upper double common. It gave a really good account for itself. It's probably one of the river commons, is this one. It's coming from the Trent. Yeah, it's probably about 16 or 17 pound, this fish. But the problem is at the moment, I don't know whether you can tell, but it's so misty I can't get the rod back out. I mean, I could, obviously I know my distance, but I can't see the markings in the horizon. I mean, I could guess it, but I've got one rod on the spot, and I try and do it in one cast if I can, that spot. You'll go back, matey. There you go. And I think if I guess it, I'm going to end up having 3 or 4 casts before I get it right, which at this time in the morning is probably not the best thing to do. I'm just maybe going to give it an hour, see if this mist clears. So, like I say, I've got one rod on the spot, so that's better than none. Ah, that's better, eh? Right, well the mist cleared and I managed to get that rod out. I could just see the little V in the horizon, and I landed a little bit to the left, but I'm still on the bar. I could tell by the drop, you know, it's on the spot. Because the bar's running away from me. Normally I only put one rod on that spot, but because that's done both the big uns, and my pal Steph was on of a bank holiday, and he had a pretty decent hit. He had a big un and you know, a good head of 20s, and they all came off the other side of the bar from another swim, but it's the same spot. So this time I've decided to put 2 rods on that spot. So if it was in the afternoon I'd have redone it, but because it's bite time and it landed with a good thump, and it's landed in the depth ring, because if I'm too far to the left it'll just drop into the abyss. So I know I'm on the bar, so I'm not going to mess about with that rod now. I'm happy with it. And even though it's stupid o'clock, I'm awake and I've had a coffee, so I kind of like, my left hand rods had done that many bites last night, God knows. So I don't think there was much bait left out there, so I've recharged them rods. I thought I might as well, so I put fresh hook baits on and got them back on the spots and put some fresh bombs out. So one of them rods is on a spawn mix, a bit of all sorts, a bit of crushed up switch pellet, a little bit of particle, a bit of all sorts, and the other rod is on the new bait, on the test bait, on the bug. You know, we're just having the team guys are having a go with that at the moment and getting some pretty decent results with it as well. So it's my first time using it, so I'm just fishing pure boilies on that rod, and nothing else around it. There's no point in testing a bait and having other, you know what I mean, you get where I'm coming from. So that's just, but that's done me a lot of bites actually last night, but I was kind of really hoping that one did me a big one. But just stockies at the moment, but you know, history tells me that if you persevere, like I said before, eventually the better fish will bully them out and get on your bait. So they're all on the spots. I'm all happy with them. I'm getting concrete drops on all my rods. I mean, these spots, I've been, you know, I started fishing this swim this year in January. I mean, I'll have put 60 or 70 kilos, probably more, in this swim. And you know, when I first started dropping my leads onto these spots, I got a decent drop. Now it's like polished, it's concrete, you know, they've proper cleaned me out every time they've come through. So, you know, I'm really happy with my spots, you know, and they're productive, they're catching me fish. So yeah, I'm going to get the kettle on, have another coffee, wake myself up properly, and I'll just make the most of the morning. And you know, when you get to 10 o'clock, things normally calm down in this swim, so I'll just get my head down and have a couple of hours sleep then, you know, keep myself awake and on it for the productive period, because yeah, I think I'm going to get another bite. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get another bite before long. Right, so them rods on the bar haven't done anything today, which is a bit frustrating, I must admit, because the fish are on it. They're just further down the bar, about 20 yards further down. Keep watching them all day and thinking, oh, they'll push, and they just didn't come down. I've just seen a fish show now. It's 20, 25 yards, something like that, past me. So what I'm going to do, something I haven't done this trip, is put some bait on it. I've just had singles on it for the time being, so I'm going to bam maybe 4 or 5 spoms on it, just crushed up switch, because during the night I'm fishing switch on the hook. During the daytime I'm fishing the milky malt. So yeah, I'm just going to put maybe 5 or 6 bombs of crushed up switch on it and just see if I can draw the fish down a little bit. Right, good morning. It's about 3:30, 4:15, and as you can see behind me, we're just starting to see a little bit of sun come over the horizon. Just starting to lighten up as it does this time of year. And I've had this 23.4. This was over the rod on the bar, the rod that you saw me put that switch on at tea time. I was beginning to think I'd made a mistake, you know, because this southwesterly is blowing down the lake and I didn't hear a lot. Didn't hear a lot at all, so I'm glad that I've had this one, because I thought I might have made a mistake, you know. Only when I'm carp fishing will you ever get me up at this time in the morning. Oh, what a little stunner this is. So we'll get this one back. We'll get the rod redone. Just check the line. It did knock a little bit. There are some odd dodgy bits out there, so I'm going to have to really check the line, make sure there's no bruising on the line, because you can't take any risks, as I've learnt in the past on this lake. So yeah, we'll just give the line a good check. Don't rush to get the rod back out, you know. Just going on past experiences. Just make sure everything's cock on. Because if you make a mistake, this place can catch you out. Go on then, matey. Well, the long rod's gone off again. Not the missing big common, but a pretty fish all the same. So I'll recharge the rod. I think I'm going to give it a little bit of bait as well, because they've probably gone through that bait. I only put 5 or 6 bombs out, so I'll recharge the rod, get some fresh bait out there, see what the rest of the morning brings. Right, well I had them 2 fish this morning, and I stayed up, just watched the water, because the wind's turned and turned and turned. It's going southwesterly now, and I was watching the bowl and just nothing, didn't see anything, and I just thought, I didn't get another bite, and I just thought, and the wind started to get stronger, you know, during you know, midday, and I just thought, they've done the off. I'm in the wrong swim here. I mean, yeah, that swim's done me some absolute crackers, as you've seen, but it's no good if the fish out there, is it? So I've walked down the east bank of the lake, so I'm on this westerly wind with 5 minutes of being here. Seeing a few heads come out. I've seen some decent fish as well. I've had 4 bites, all stockies, but I've seen some decent fish as well. So it's a numbers game like it was up there. I'm just going to keep working through them. This is my last night of the visit, so I'm getting off in the morning. So yeah, I'm going to get another couple of bites for sure, but let's hope we can get one of the better ones. Right, so yeah, that swim was just producing stockies for me, and it got to the stage whereby I needed some sleep, so I went down to 1 rod, and even 1 rod was getting me up, you know, far too often. So I've moved because I didn't see anything this morning. Just get the hook out of this one, and I've had a real pretty one. I've just moved into the swim on the very north bank of the lake, the very opposite of where I caught the big uns. The wind's hacking down here. It's turned full southerly now, and it's a warm one. You can tell the temperature's much better. And I've had one of these scaly ones. Beautiful little fish. Plenty of growth to go on this one, of course, but a beautiful little fish. So I've only been here about 10 minutes, which indicates to me that they're here. I've seen 2 or 3 shows as well, so I'm only going to be able to keep 1 rod in the water by the sounds of it, because my other rod's lying here in, so we'll see if we can catch any of the better ones. Right, well, it's absolute carnage in this swim, and as always, I just can't get through to the bigger fish. There are some big fish here. I've seen 1 or 2 that are really, you know, moving a bit of water, but it's only the smaller ones. But this is a nice one. I'll show you this one. This is probably the biggest of the fish I've caught this morning. Probably about 14 or 15 pound, but you know, they're the future of this fishery, so of course we would treat them with the exact same respect. So, oh, we're in. No, we're not. Liner. No, we're in.